we're on the record. It's June 27th, 2019. This is Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 1. Can I have the parties please announce themselves for the record?
Ryan Mesher, Assistant State Attorney, State of Florida.
Are you here all morning?
No.
Oh.
I'm just here for one case.
Okay.
But until somebody else shows up, I guess
Oh,
I'll step in and figure it out.
Was Miss Kennedy Swanson here already?
I have not seen
No.
it.
Oh. Okay.
We'll go with it.
Huh? Oh, okay, I don't want to start, she's pointing at me. She's here? Okay. I don't want to start without her if
Okay.
Mr. Vecchio's not prepared to handle any of these other cases.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the public defender.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn.
You know what I can do is if there's a Rivera, Mario Rivera.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get plugged into our system. I can kind of wing it until she's here since I'm here.
Rivera? Yeah. Oh, it's Lewis? Yeah.
Yes.
I believe she's here.
Okay.
She,
I'm assuming she's in the building. I need her here. So has somebody contacted her or?
I am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vecchio.
You're welcome. I've got your IA list up here.
Okay.
So if you need to start to proceed afterwards.
Okay, well, I think they're gonna bring the defendant that you're here for in, or no? Okay, why don't we do that, and then Mr. Vecchio can get back downtown to do whatever he needs to do. Okay. Today's one of those days again. Smile, Mr. Wynn.
Oh, man.
I've got all your affidavits up for yours. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you need to start afterwards, I can do it for confidence.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
Louis Rivera, Jr.
All right, Mr. Rivera, you're hearing case number 2019 CF 9027, and you're arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found already for second-degree murder with a weapon, tampering with physical evidence, tampering with physical evidence, tampering with physical evidence, and the last is conspiracy to tamper. Just looks as though it's. Was that the specific crime?
It is.
Conspiracy to tamper? Okay. All right. And so probable cause has been found. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. State, would you like to be heard as to bond on count one? I believe this is a PBL.
Ryan Vecchio, Assistant State Attorney on behalf of the state of Florida. Yes, the state would ask the court to continue the no bond on count one, second-degree murder with a firearm. As the court points out, the defendant was previously, probable cause was previously found on the defendant. I will point out that immediately after this incident, the defendant fled to Connecticut, fled to that jurisdiction on June the 1st, according to flight records, remained in that jurisdiction to avoid investigation or prosecution or arrest. Given the fact that the defendant is evidenced he is a flight risk, in addition to the affidavit for arrest warrant, we'd ask that the court hold no bond at this time.
Okay, and I have reviewed the arrest warrant. It's extremely detailed, and there are multiple witnesses who place him along with the dad and at the scene of where they cleaned the vehicle, and then later a witness who was there at the time when they disposed of the victim's body and buried the body in a grave. So, and based on all of that evidence, I don't know if Mr. Nguyen, if you want to make an argument today, if you're
Your
prepared
Honor.
to have an Arthur hearing.
No, I was going to leave it within the discretion of the court, but I was just going to point out that by the warrant, there were multiple indications that he was acting in self-defense, and there was a struggle inside the car. But we were going to leave it within the discretion of the court, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. I do find that proof evident presumption is great based on the detailed affidavit for the arrest warrant. And I am gonna hold Mr. Rivera at no bond on count one. The other bonds will remain set as in the warrant at $1,000 on each, counts 2, 3, and 4, and count 5 at $5,000. Mr. Rivera, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to have any contact with the victim's family in the case, or any witness or your co-defendant, who is your father, okay? So, State, did you want me to add any additional or have any recommendations for any additional conditions of release?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
Those should
Which,
suffice.
I mean, he's being held no bond, but if for some reason he were to get a bond after an Arthur hearing, any other additional?
No, we'll address that downtown if there
Okay.
was a bond hearing. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Nguyen?
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
And
all right. Thank you. Can you just announce your presence for the record, Ms.
Kathy
Kim?
Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Thank you. You. Thanks for visiting.
Always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Good to see you. All right, please tell me your name.
Latoya Taylor.
All right, Ms. Taylor, you're here in 2019 MO 12170. You're arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And was there an offer for Ms. Taylor?
Adjudication, 3 days, no return.
What, 2 days?
3 days,
3
no
days.
return.
Okay, thank you. And she has 2 days? Okay. Two, so she would get out today. I don't know what time, but you would get out today. Okay. And I do have to impose court costs.
Okay.
And Ms. Taylor, did you want to plead no contest?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
All right, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You cannot go back to the Citgo at 1916 West Colonial Drive in Orlando, Florida, and I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by June 27, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am.
All right.
Please tell me your name.
Damian Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 MM 630AW. You were arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense, and I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I don't know if the state has an offer.
We do not, Your Honor.
Okay, state has no offer today, so your conditions of release are going to be that you're not to return back to the Beals Outlet at 8901 West Colonial Drive in Ocoee, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I'm gonna stay the bond at the $250, okay?
Your Honor, Mr. Torres is refusal.
Okay. We'll reset. All right, please tell me your name.
Dominic Jacob Nicosia.
All right, Mr. Nicosia, you are here in case number 2019 CF 9130. You arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for possession of methamphetamine with a weapon. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay at $3,500. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Miss Reese is mental health.
Okay. We'll reset. Ms. Reese.
Mr. Ruiz is also mental health.
All right. Reset. You said Mr. Gales?
Yes.
Okay. You're here in 19 MO 12150. You're arrested for camping in a prohibited place and state misdemeanors. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. Was there an offer for Mr. Gales?
With full paper time served.
And I would have to impose court costs, okay?
Okay.
So it's a withhold, and he has 2 in, and so that would get you out today, and you're not, it's not a conviction.
Okay.
So if you want to talk to Mr. Wynn about it real quick, or?
And Your Honor, he will enter a plea of no contest.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gales, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom? Is that, you gotta speak up because we're being recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
Is that a yes? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea to both of the offenses. I am gonna withhold adjudication on each count, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days time served. Those will run concurrent. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by June 27th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off, okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Good luck to you. Please tell me your name, sir.
Jesse Key.
Ian Hodges is mental health nurse.
Okay, we'll reset. All right, Mr. Key, you're here in 2019 MM 5334AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning.
The warning was, they said
Don't-
5
don't-
years ago.
Don't talk about the facts of your case, sir, okay?
Ma'am, you said it was 5 years ago since I got trespassed. That's why I didn't know, because when I'm
Okay,
smelling
well,
up.
trespasses can be for, forever,
Oh,
indefinite.
okay, all right.
Okay, you can't go back there.
Oh.
So I do find probable cause. I am gonna appoint the public defender. Do we have is there an offer for Mr. Key?
Adjudication, 4 days, no return.
And he has 2 in. And I'm not gonna take any action on his out on
I
bond
was
case.
curious, is there a competency evaluation going on?
No, I didn't
Okay.
see anything.
Okay.
I can check again, but I did look at the underlying facts of that. I don't, yeah, I mean,
Okay, well,
he
if there's not-
bonded out too, so I don't know.
okay, yeah, I was just wanted to make sure that if there
I
wasn't.
can, I can look again,
Okay.
just to obviously make sure. But I didn't, I usually notate that.
No,
So it only happened 20 days ago. There's nothing filed. He's set for an arraignment on July 11th, but no information's been filed. So, but I'm just not gonna take any action today on it. But if he wants to take a plea today on the new case,
And, Your Honor, he will enter a plea at no contest.
okay. And Mr. Key, you have the public defender on your other case, but you have a court date coming up. You have an arraignment. You know about that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, don't miss your court date.
All right, all
Okay.
right,
Wait, we're gonna do the plea, okay?
all right.
So hang out for just a sec. All right, Mr. Key, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea
Uh-huh.
form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All
I
right.
do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I am gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You still can't go back to that 7-Eleven at 8499 South John Young Parkway, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go back there.
All righty, all right.
I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by June 27th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. And as I said, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case, but don't miss your court date.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Key, good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Kingsley Barcony.
All right, do we know what happened to Andrew Rivera?
Downtown Court.
Okay, so we'll reset. All right, Mr. Barcony. You're here in 2019 CF 9152AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm going to set your bond as it is in the affidavit at $1,000 on count 1 and $100 on count 2. State, I don't know, I looked up the out on, or the open case that I have for the, and it looks like it was a PTD rejection, and then it never got back on the docket. I don't know if you, like, that's what it is according to the clerk's site. I don't know if you have anything different. But it looks as though nothing's happened since 5/29/2018. Like over a year.
My system showed that there was a pretrial conference set in January,
Yeah, but nothing.
but I have no notes from what
Yeah, it
happened
was
at that.
never set. I mean, it might have been set, but it never got on the, docket.
I mean, all I can do is send an email to the ASA in charge of the case and
Well, I'm probably I'll contact the JA, but it looks like he was rejected from PTD 5/29, and then there was a subpoena that went out. For trial on-call period beginning in February, but, so, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case because it's just been languishing. But Mr. Barcony, it's likely that that's gonna get back on the docket soon now that it's been brought to everybody's attention. So, just so you're aware, if you get picked up on something else, it's likely that somebody might revoke your bonds on both cases, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right? So, just stay out of trouble, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Mikhail Cannon.
All right, Mr. Cannon. You're here in 2019 CF 9169AO. You're arrested for carrying concealed firearm. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition, nor are you to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will be set at $1,000. You're out on bond in 19 CF 1814AO. I'm revoking the bond and setting it at none.
I have a question. I have court for that charge. That's supposed to be resolved today at 1. For the grand theft charge, will I be able to make it down to that court or no?
Probably not. I don't know if they'll transport you because the deputies, I mean, I don't think he'll make it there. Yeah, so, but the deputies will probably look up in the courtroom and see that you're in jail and then either reset it.
But I have trial for that charge on the 1st,
They'll transport you for trial.
so they're not gonna reset the
If
trial?
your case gets called, a lot of cases get set for trial on a certain day. So unless it's a time certain trial, it's likely that they'll just transport you, and if your case goes to trial, it goes to trial. I mean, I don't,
Okay, so that's on the 1st, so I'll be transported on the 1st?
I can't find any reason why you wouldn't be. They know you're here, so, okay?
All right, that's fine, thank you.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Raymond Chamberlain.
Mr. Chamberlain, you're here in 2019 CF 9161AO. You're arrested for burglary of a structure, criminal mischief under 200, over 200, under 1,000, and trespass in a structure as a refusal to leave.
Your Honor, we did have a probable cause
Oh, okay.
challenge. I apologize, last minute notice.
Well, let me appoint the public defender.
Okay.
Okay.
And so with regards to the burglary of a structure, there was no evidence of any crime committed inside the dwelling or an intent to commit a crime inside the dwelling. So we would ask that a PC be found for trespass.
Okay, let me review it again, and then, I don't know, Ms. Kennedy Swanson, if you have any response.
There was damage to the window. That was $500 damage. I guess when they were confronted, the male and female fled from the apartment. So it's just the damage to the window.
Yeah, so, I mean,
We,
if you're,
and I would argue that the window, if he did in fact break the window, that is not in the police and the report. I don't know if it's alleged that he broke the window. I don't think it was, but that would have been broken prior to entry, and it's not again entering the dwelling with the intent to commit a crime. That the breaking of the window would have been committed prior to entry.
I think the jury instructions would disagree
Okay.
with,
My
in terms of entering into a structure or dwelling surreptitiously or
Correct.
causing damage.
Okay.
Those are the elements of the,
Right.
of the offense, if the evidence is there to support that. So, I do find the probable cause. I understand your argument as to nothing's, missing from the structure and whatnot, but the damage is
Okay.
enough PC. So,
Okay.
I do find the probable cause for the burglary of a structure. However, so I am gonna order that you're not to return back to 1975 Americana Boulevard. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or co-defendant. And I'm gonna stay the bond at $3,500 on count 1, and count 2 will be $100, count 3 will be $100.
Your Honor, would you be willing to consider Mr. Chamberlain for pretrial release based on he has no failure to appears in the past, and these appear to be nonviolent crimes?
I'll place him in pretrial release, but he has to understand that if you violate any condition of the release and they tell me that you violate, that I'm gonna revoke the release and you'll be held at no bond. So you have to understand that,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I will place him in pretrial release.
Ron, is Destiny Flores the co-defendant?
Yes.
Are they living together?
No, ma'am.
Can't have any contact.
I understand.
Does that cause an issue with the
No,
pretrial
I
release?
verify that part, that's fine.
Okay. All right, Mr. Chamberlain, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Jimmy Cruz.
All right, Mr. Cruz, you're here in 2019 CF 9159AO. You're arrested for possession of fentanyl, possession of heroin, possession of cocaine, and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And I am gonna place you in the pretrial release program, and they're probably gonna drug test you.
Okay.
So,
Thank
gotta
you.
make sure that you stay clean, okay?
I will. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Doherty, did she, I don't have a face sheet, so my guess is she bonded 91019244?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Joshua Fast.
All right, Mr. Fast, you're here in 2019 CF 9187. You're arrested for armed robbery with a deadly weapon and carrying a concealed weapon by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office, and I believe count one is a PBL.
Yes, Your Honor.
Stated you want to be heard as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor, we believe the defendant should be held at no bond, Your Honor. It looks like the defendant brandished a knife, a gray knife, and told the victim to take off his shoes. He then lunged at the victim and demanded the victim take off his backpack. The victim was able to run away and only left the shoes. The defendant was found a short time later and in possession of a small knife wrapped in gray duct tape.
Mr. Wen.
Your Honor, it appeared in the warrant that the alleged victim was in a relationship with the defendant's girlfriend while he was previously incarcerated. And based on those facts, I could see a doubt with the veracity of his statements. Beyond that, we would leave it within the discretion of the court.
Okay. Well, I mean, he was found with a knife, and I mean, he identified him. He knows who he is personally. I do find proof evident presumption great. However, I am going to use my discretion and grant him a bond. It's not going to be a great bond for him, but it's going to be a $50,000 bond. On count one and count two, I'm gonna set at $2,500. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. You're not to have any contact with any victim or any witness in the case, and you're not to return back to the Lynx bus station at 455 North Garland Avenue in Orlando, Florida. 50. All right, please tell me,
Raymond William Flynn, sorry.
thank you, Mr. Flynn. All right, you're here in 2019 CF 5880. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for possession of cocaine. And I am going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I am going to stay the bond at the $3,000 in the warrant. And you're also here in 2018 CF 17054AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a pretrial conference on April 30th, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none on that count. Did he have the PD? And you do have the public defender in that case. They can file any appropriate motions for you, okay?
Okay, can I say one thing, ma'am?
If it's not about the facts of your case, I can't do anything about the capias, so if you
No.
have an excuse for not
I was
being-
extradited from North Dakota, and for the heroin, I don't ever remember having cocaine. Never did.
Okay,
Don't know
well,
how they booked me on that.
okay, well, that's what the warrant says, so.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Nazaré Raúl Garcia.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you're here in 2019 CF 9155AO. You're arrested for leaving the scene of a crash with injuries and driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you.
You need a copy of this track book.
All right, you're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I'm sorry, I need to go back because I'm trying to find in here what the injury is. And I've read it a couple times and I just don't see anything about injuries. Or what they are. Unless it's just damage.
It can be the lesser included leaving the scene of a crash, and then will also be the the primary offense.
Okay, do we have a statute for that? $16. So I'm gonna find a lesser included probable cause for leaving the scene of an accident with property damage. Just 316.061. there's nothing in here about any injuries. There may be some, but there isn't any, so, again, no contact with any listed victim or witness, and you're not to drive without a valid license. Your bond on count 1 will remain set at the 150, and on count 2, I'm gonna stay at 2,500. What did I say, 316,016? Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
William Harbison.
All right, Mr. Harbison, you're here in 2019 CF 9170AO, and you were arrested for driving with license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause, and they're telling me you do not qualify for the public defender. So I'm gonna just go through this form with you real quick. Do you work?
Yes, I actually own a business.
Oh, you own a business?
Yes.
Okay. And you get paid weekly, bi-weekly or monthly? You pay yourself?
Yes,
How much do you pay yourself?
$500 a week.
A week, okay.
Mhm.
And then you have no dependents?
I have a son,
So
but he
you-
does not live with me.
How old is he?
4 years old.
4? Do you claim him as a dependent?
Only every other year.
Okay. So if he got 500 a week and had 1 dependent, would he qualify? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to drive without a valid license, and your bond will stay set at the $2,500. All right, thank you.
Ma'am, I was just conferring with him. Is it possible that I address you?
Don't talk about the facts of your case.
No worries. Like, as he was saying, I can fight that later. I'm more worried about, I just moved here. I don't really have family. The only other person would be the mother of my son. And I was hoping to get ROR due to the fact, I haven't been in trouble in a very long time. I have moved back for my son, so I'm not going anywhere. Certainly never had an FTA.
You actually did, but it's 2011. Would he qualify for pretrial release? Because it's saying that unable to verify community ties.
We don't have any contacts for him,
I'm sorry.
not unless he wants to verify his address before you want to qualify for controls.
I mean, did you get interviewed by pretrial release?
I have not been, but I do have mail that comes to 2 separate addresses here.
They need to know where you're residing.
Okay.
Like, not where your mail is going, but where
Right.
you live.
Well, that would be 21 West Winter Park Street, Orlando, Florida, 32804.
He was interviewed, he just gave you a different address, and that's what, what is your address? Just write it down for me.
I'm sorry.
When we interviewed, you gave us a different address.
In,
You gave us a Castleberry address, and you resided there for 2 years, so we did it.
right, 1299, that is Melanie's house, well, our house used to be.
They need to know where you're living.
I live at 21 West Winter Park. Thank you.
All right, so what I'll do is that if you do qualify for pretrial release, I don't have any objection.
Straight with the trial.
Okay, so pretrial release, for some reason you don't qualify, I guess you'll come back. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so,
All right, please tell me your name.
Crystal Harvey.
All right, Ms. Harvey, you're here in 2019 CF 9156AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to 4100 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're to abide by those posted trespass warnings at that location. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bonds will stay set at 1,000 on count 1, 100 on counts 2 and 3. You're out on, well, it was our award, and I don't believe the state's filed anything in that. Do you have a status on that? I didn't see anything filed, and I think, I read the affidavit, seemed to be a lot of people in that house.
We've not made a charging decision.
Okay, so, Ms. Harvey, I'm not gonna take action on your out on bond case today. However, if you come back before me and I see you again, I am gonna revoke the release on both the cases. So, just be aware of that,
Yes.
okay? I don't care if the state files or not, but I read the affidavit, so. All right, please tell me your name.
Jeremy David Jackson,
All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2017 CF 14634 AO. You were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for a pretrial on May 21st, 2019. The judge revoked your release and set your bond at none. Do you have the PD? Do you have the PD in that case? No? You have a private attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you know who that is?
Yes, ma'am. I was incarcerated in Georgia for the failure to appear. That's why I
Right,
wasn't
and
allowed.
a lot of judges find that if you get arrested on something else, that's a failure, a willful failure to appear, so.
It was a probation.
I can't
thing.
change the capias for you, so there's really no point in telling me much about it.
ma'am.
Unfortunately, I can't by law, so you're gonna have to make sure you get in touch with your attorney as soon as possible. I don't know if you already have, and let them know, and they need to file a bond motion for you, or get
Yes.
somehow,
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
God bless you. Have a great day.
All right. All right, please tell me your name.
Richard Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 9131. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found. Grand theft, third degree.
This is Richard.
Oh. Oh, I have two Mr. Joneses.
Yes.
Okay.
Hakeem is down on court.
Okay, we'll reset Mr. Hakeem Jones. Sorry about that. All right, Richard Jones. All right, you're here in 19 CF 9060, and you're arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for failing to report within 30 days as a transient sexual offender and failing to update your address with the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles. And I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You do have reporting requirements, Mr. Jones, and your bonds will remain set in the warrant at 500 on count 1 and 2,500 on count 2. So you have to report even if you're in the jail, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Alan Bryant Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're here in 2019 CF 9135 AO. You're arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness at that location. And your bond will stay set at the $1,000. All right, please tell me your name.
James Albert Miller III.
Mr. Miller, you're here in 2019 CF 19144 AO. You're arrested for grand theft. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to go back to the Office Depot at 501 North Orlando Avenue. Looks like number 201 in Winter Park, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or your co-defendant, Mr. Upton. And your bond will stay set at the $2,500. All right, please tell me your name.
Lawrence Milligan.
Mr. Milligan, you're here in 2019 CF 8880 AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for grand theft over 100,000 and crimes against a person, exploiting of the elderly over 50,000 and scheme to defraud 50,000 or more. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with your mother, the victim in the case, none whatsoever. You're not to return back to her residence. At the 1824 Jessica Court or wherever she's residing, you're not to go there, and that's in Winter Park. Excuse me.
Can I ask a question?
And your bonds will remain set as in the warrant at 100,000 on count 1 and $50,000 on counts 2 and 3.
And Your Honor, just to clarify, if the mother does not live in the home, can he be at that residence, or? Because he's indicating me that the mother lives in an assisted living facility.
Right, I said wherever she
Oh, wherever
resides.
she resides, okay.
So he's not to go to any place where she resides. And
If you have permission.
I, based on the allegations in the warrant, I'm not sure if he is, are you still living at the Jessica Court?
Yes, ma'am.
Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
All right, please tell me your name.
Hunter Moore.
All right, Mr. Moore, you're here in 2018 CF 9438 AO. You're arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your case management conference on June 25th, 2019. The judge revoked your release on both counts and set your bond at none. You had the PD in that case? Okay, you do have the PD in that case. And you're also here in 2019 CF 8554 AO. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant which probable cause was found for robbery by sudden snatching and grand theft. I am gonna appoint, well, you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own
I have a
attorney?
lawyer.
Okay, who is that?
Mark Fromming.
Okay, have you do we know if he's filed a notice of appearance? Did you talk to him
I
recently?
haven't talked to them since I've been in here, but the reason why I couldn't make case management was because
Well, don't talk to me about that,
Okay,
because there's
yes,
nothing
ma'am.
I can do about that.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying he represents you, well, you're represented by the public defender
Yeah,
in that
Sinead
case.
Craig. I didn't have time to switch to him in time, so she's still mine, but I have Mark Fromang as well.
All right, well, Mr. Froming hasn't filed a notice of appearance, and he's not here today.
Mhm.
So, and that's fine if you want to hire him. So these are your conditions of release at this time. So you're not to return back to 2533 Shady Branch Drive. You're not to have any contact with the victim or any witness in the case. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. And you're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. And I'm gonna stay the bonds at $1,000 on count 1 and 500 on count 2. You have no bonds in the other cases, but you are represented. So what I can do is, I'm gonna set you for a determination of counsel in a week. And if you haven't, Mr. Fromain hasn't filed a notice of appearance yet, then we'll revisit seeing if you wanna have the public defender, appointed to your case.
To the 2019 case?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I have court tomorrow for those cases as well. I have the paperwork right here.
you don't have court for the 2019 case, I don't believe.
It says on,
That was yesterday. There was a status hearing on the 26th. I don't know why.
tomorrow at 9 a.m.
I don't have anything for that in the 2019 case.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you do have court, they'll probably transport you over there. But I'm still gonna set you for a determination of counsel hearing, just in abundance of caution to make sure, because
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
represented on the case that you have no bond in.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're gonna be sitting in jail, even if you try to bond, even if you post a
Wait.
bond on the new law,
Mhm.
you're not getting out because you don't have a bond in the other case. So-
Which one was that?
You do not have a bond in the 2018 case.
Yes, ma'am, because tomorrow she's, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna set you for determination of counsel in case you're still here and you don't have an attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll do that in a week. Mr. Fromang should tell him he needs to file a notice of appearance if he's gonna represent you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Rankin.
Mr. Rankin. You're here in 2019 CF 9167AO. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, resisting an officer without violence, and possession of cannabis less than 20 grams. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. Your bonds will stay set at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on counts 2 and 3. You're out on bond. 2019 CF 4315AO. I'm revoking that and setting it at none.
So what does that mean? I have no bond?
Not in that case.
Okay.
right, please tell me your name.
Ian Renton.
All right, sir, you're here in 2019 CF 6902. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant, which probable cause was found for failing to report and re-register as a sexual offender. And I am going to appoint the public defender's office. The judge who signed the warrant indicated that you're to report as required within 1 business day.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Okay.
And so I am going to order that you report within 1 business day, and then your bond will remain, or will be set at $2,500.
Okay, Your Honor.
So if you can't post the bond, you still have to register that you're here. Do you understand?
So if I don't go out on bail, I still have to register today?
Within 1 business day of your arrest. So you still have to register that you're at the jail if you can't bond out. If you bond out, then you register to wherever you're going. Okay?
Okay, Your
All right.
Honor.
Is there a hold on him too? Yes. Okay, so he's not getting out today even if you post a bond? Okay, you do have a, was it a 5-day hold? Yes. Okay, because you're on probation. Okay, so register that you're at the jail. All right, please tell me your name.
Illegall.
All right, so you're here in 2019 CF 9166AO. You're arrested for possession of methamphetamine or MDMA ecstasy. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna, well, you do not qualify for the public defender, it appears. So, do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida.
Okay, and then do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, okay. So not weekly. And then how much do you make every 2 weeks?
$650.
$650? Okay, and you have no children under the age of 18, so I think he qualifies now. You do qualify for the public defender. I am going to appoint them to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain set at $1,000. You're also, looks like Miami-Dade, they're filing an on-view violation of probation for 3. Oh, okay, so so I'm not gonna take any action, I'll ROR you on those based on what corrections is telling me. So just be aware they may violate you at some
So I
point.
go,
You have a $1,000 bond.
$100 bond. I
That-
can pay for that
And you'll
I
get
gotta
out.
go back to Miami.
Yep, I mean,
So- I'm moving up here, but it was some
if you're on probation, just make sure obviously that you keep in touch with your probation officer and you let them know everything you're doing.
Right.
If you have to report your arrest, report your arrest.
I supposed to report it. I supposed to left last night at 12 o'clock to catch the bus down to report the day at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
So
Well,
I'm gonna have to call my family and let them know to call my probation officer.
Okay, I think that's a good idea, so, but you can bond out. Yeah, there's no hold on you.
All right, thank you.
Okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Lawrence Rucker.
All right, Mr. Rucker, you're here in 2019 CF 9147AO. You're arrested for petty theft, second degree as a third subsequent offense. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. I didn't see any indication. I know based on the charge he's out on bond in, obviously, it's a petty theft with 2 prior convictions, but there's nothing in the affidavit relating to prior convictions. And I don't think I can assume anything outside of the 4 corners of the affidavit, even though I know that he has more than,
Right. I think it's everything that's within the four corners of the affidavit, Your Honor.
oh, there's nothing in there.
It's fine as a simple possession, Your Honor. I'm sorry, simple petty theft.
Okay.
Same upgrade, basic shoes.
Okay, so just a regular petty theft of $100 for, it looks like $17.94. 12, 014. So 812.014 subsection 3 subsection A is just a petty theft, okay? So I find for the lesser included of the petty theft, based on any lack of indication that there's any priors in the affidavit, and I believe that's an M2, you're not to return back to the Walmart at 1700 South Orange Blossom Trail. You're to abide by any trespass warnings. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. I'm gonna set your bond at $500 on that case. And then you're also here in 2019 MM 433A for trespassing in an occupied structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause for that. The same conditions apply. You're not to go back to the Walmart, to abide by any trespass warnings, and you're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. And your bond will be set at $250 in that case. You're out on bond for petty theft, 2 priors in 2019 CF 7277AO. I am revoking that and setting it at none. Okay, thank you. We're
Downtown
res-
on this case. State would request that it not be reset, Your Honor, if he's downtown on this particular case, that he has the failure to appear on.
Okay, I'm just pulling it up just to see. So 627, plea and sentence. So how do I know, though, that he actually enters a plea and gets sentenced?
Either way, the warrant would have been served and he would have gone in front of a judge.
Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that it just doesn't get sent back here and then that's it. So we don't need to reset him if he's downtown and he resolves his case. Either way, they will address it. All right, please tell me your name.
John Schneider.
Mr. Schneider, you're here in 2019 CF 9168AO. You're arrested for possession of tetrahydrocannabinols, possession of drug paraphernalia, and possession of alcohol on the street, sidewalks, or alleyways, which appears to be a county ordinance. And I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond will stay set at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on counts 2 and 3. I don't know if I said it, not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. All right, please tell me your name.
Thomas Lewis, Somerville.
All right, Mr. Somerville, you're here in 2019 CF 9160AO. You're arrested for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. Your bond will stay at $4,000 on count 1 and $150 on count 2. You're out on bond 2019 CF 951AO. I'm revoking that and setting it at none. All right, please tell me your name.
Saul Torres.
Mr. Torres, you're here in 2019 CF 9163AO. You're arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions. And I do find probable cause. It does not appear as though you're gonna qualify for the public defender, so let me just go through the affidavit with you. Do you work?
Excuse me?
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
Lot electric,
Okay, and do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
weekly.
And then how much do you make per week
I make like,
after taxes?
after taxes, about 500-600.
Okay, and then do you have any children that you claim as anybody you claim as a dependent?
I got 2.
2 children under
Yes,
the
ma'am.
age of 18?
Yes,
Okay, how old are they?
14 and 13.
Okay, so you have 2 dependents and you make between 500 and 600 a week. Yeah, so you do qualify for the public defender. I'm gonna appoint them to represent you. You're not to return back to the Home Depot at 13121 South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. Your bond will remain set at $1,000. Well, qualify for pretrial release.
At your discretion, Your Honor, based on his convictions, I will defer to the court on that.
Okay, let me take a look. All right, I'm gonna place you in the pretrial release program. Mr. Torres, that means that you need to follow all of their requirements. You're not gonna have to post a bond, but that doesn't mean that you can go back to Home Depot, or you can
ma'am.
commit any new law offenses or get arrested.
Yes,
Or they may test you for all, I don't know what they're gonna do, but you need to make sure you do everything that they say, because if you don't, I can revoke it, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right? All right, please tell me your name.
Justin Kenneth Upton.
All right, Mr. Upton, you're here 2019 CF 9145. You're arrested for grand theft. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. You may not go back to the Office Depot at 501 North Orlando Avenue, number 201 in Winter Park, Florida. You may not have any contact with any listed victim, witness, or your co-defendant, Mr. Miller. And your bond is stayed at $2,500.
Your Honor, he's been sentenced.
Sorry, you're gonna-
Your Honor, he's already been sentenced on another case. I think he's been sentenced to the Department of Corrections. And if Your Honor would release him ROR, he would be released to them without having to be held at the jail. And I think that's what he's requesting.
I'm not gonna ROR him. I
Okay.
mean, he's gonna have to resolve this case before he goes,
And-
likely go to DOC, so
Okay.
it would make no difference, I don't think. Oh, this is my, getting ahead of myself. All right, please tell me your name.
Dana Wainwright.
All right, Mr. Wainwright, you're here in 2019 CF 9165 AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. Gonna appoint the public defender. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. I'm gonna stay the bond on count 1 at 1,000 and reduce count 2 to 100. All right, please tell me your name, sir. Can you hear me? Do you need headphones?
Ma'am?
Do you need some headphones? Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Get you some headphones.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you Mr. Newsome? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. You're Mr. Newsome?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're here in 19 MO 1216. You were arrested for an open container violation. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Did you just want to see if the state had an offer to resolve your case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Adjudication, 4 days, no return.
So, and does he have 2 in? Okay, so I think that gets you out tomorrow, and I would have to impose court costs. So the state's offer is an adjudication of guilt, 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for the 2 days that you've served. And you can't go back to 37 West Pine Street.
I'm homeless, ma'am.
This is Mr. Booth.
Mr. Newsome, he has no history, really. He has 1 Florida conviction, which is an open container and municipal ordinance.
I'm sorry, it's the same offer, just without the no return. I apologize, Your Honor.
Mr. Newsome, do you want to plead to the bench?
Ma'am,
Do you want to take the state's offer, or do you want to plead to the bench?
I'm gonna go ahead and plead guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. All right, Mr. Newsome, you can't drink alcohol in public, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you'll probably get arrested again.
I understand that, ma'am.
All right, do you want to plead no contest?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I don't offer any promises, okay? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you understand everything? Is this your signature on the plea form?
I think I'll pull the rest of the day and I'll leave tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna, is this your signature on the plea form?
Yes, it
Did
is.
you understand everything contained within the plea form?
I think so.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
I do.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to, what does he have, 2 days in? 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served, okay? I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by June 27th, 2020. Gives you a year to pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Okay, sir? Good luck to you. You can't
Yes,
drink in,
Your Honor.
can't drink in public, okay?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Ronald Booth.
All right, Mr. Booth, you're here in 2019 MM 5343AO. You're arrested for trespass. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and was there an offer? This is the one you thought before, so.
Adjudication, 4 days, no return.
All right, Mr. Nguyen, do you know what he wants to do?
Yes, Your Honor, he would like to enter plea of no contest.
Okay. So you can't go back to Lake Eola. All right, Mr. Booth, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. Can't go back to Lake Eola at 101 North Roslyn Avenue. They've trespassed you. You gotta abide by those trespass warnings.
I understand.
And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by June 27th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, okay? Good luck to you.
Or we refuse to attend, Your Honor.
All right, well, we'll reset her for one time. I think Jeffrey Fountain bonded out.
Fountain bonded.
Okay.
Ian Hodges is mental health.
I don't have,
Oh, you did have it already.
oh, okay. Is this Jill Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Jackson, you're here in 2019 MM 5329AO. You're arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Ms. Jackson if she wanted to resolve her case?
No objection to ROR or credit for time served.
So she has 2 days in. So it'll be a 2-day credit for time served with an adjudication.
And she would like to enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Jackson, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
All right, you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for you based on the affidavit to accept your plea. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order you pay those by June 27, 2020, because you're here to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Jim Massey.
All right, Mr. Massey, you're here in 2019 MM 637AW. You're arrested for trespass. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. And, Ms. Kennedy Swanson, was there an offer?
Adjudication, 4 days, no return.
Ron, this shows where he has an active warrant out of Texas for probation violation, but they're not going to extradite.
Okay. So he doesn't have a hold?
No.
Okay. So, sir, you don't, it looks like Texas isn't gonna extradite you for any violation of probation you may have, but, so are you on probation?
Not here, no.
Okay, well, yeah, but somewhere, you're on probation in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. So the state's offer to you today is an adjudication 4 days with credit for the 2 days that you've served. And obviously you cannot go back to 306 Ocoee Apopka Road because you've been trespassed. So, and I'm being told that you do have an outstanding warrant from Texas. Is that for a for a violation of probation? So they're saying that they're not going to extradite you. It's in-state pickup only. So I don't know if you entered a plea today. I don't know if they would change their mind. Don't know. So it's really up to you. You're on probation. I just
Oh,
need to let you know.
I'll take the 4 days.
Okay, I just need to make sure you understand. All right, Mr. Massey, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And we have established that you are on probation in Texas, although they're not gonna extradite you, so you're still comfortable going forward with the plea knowing that you're on probation and I don't know what can happen?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I do find a factual basis for acceptance of the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 4 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 days' time served. You can't go back to the 306 Ocoee Apopka Road. You've been trespassed there in Ocoee, so don't go back there.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order that you pay those by June 27th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you. Good luck to you. All right, please tell me your name.
Raymond Christopher Nesbitt, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Nesbitt, you're here in 2019 MM 5344AO. You're arrested for petty theft, retail offense. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I have an attorney on my case already.
Mr. Smith, Sean Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a private attorney?
Yes, private attorney.
Okay, hold on.
There is no offer in this case, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. All right, are you planning on hiring Mr. Smith again?
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Okay, just want to make sure that you're not representing yourself or that, okay, so I didn't know. The state's not making an offer for you today to resolve your case, okay?
Okay,
So, your conditions of release are going to be that you're not to return back to the Walmart at 3101 West Princeton Street. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness at that location. I'm gonna stay the bond at the $250. However, you are out on bond, and I've read the affidavits, a lot of cannabis that you were found with, and a lot of money. And so you're out on bond in two cases, 2019 CF 8575, which is the driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions, and 2019 CF 8576 AO. And so I'm revoking those bonds and setting them at none. And so I would call Mr. Smith immediately so that he can file any appropriate motions and file a notice of appearance in the new case, okay?
so I don't have a bond?
You have a bond in the new case. You do not have bonds on the cases that you were out on bond in,
So,
based on the new law arrest.
so that means I won't be bonding out today?
No.
So
Your
my,
attorney, Mr. Smith, will have to file a motion for you in the division in which it's set, okay?
so he would have to file
He'll have to file a motion for bond.
motion for bond?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay? And a notice of appearance if you hire him in the misdemeanor case.
a notice of appearance?
A notice of appearance, saying that he's going to represent you in the new case if you hire him,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, please tell me your name.
Brady Owens.
All right, Mr. Owens, you're here in 2019 MM 5348 AO. You're arrested for petty theft. It's a retail offense. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And is there an offer from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're not to return back to the target at 3770 North Goldenrod Road. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness. You're to abide by any trespass warnings. And I'm gonna set your bond at $500. All right, thank you. You can call that number on the form they give you if you have any
I'm not gonna
questions.
get RR.
No, you have 2 open cases out of Seminole. You have quite a history. No, I'm not RORing you. All right, please tell me your name.
David Baker.
All right, Mr. Baker, you're here you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County, and your bond is set at $2,000 in that case, so if you can bond out, you can bond out. If not, Lake County has 24 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to our admin order, okay?
Okay.
All right, please tell me your name.
Marcus Atkins.
All right, Mr. Ekins, you're here, and you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Volusia County, and it looks like, is this a on-view VOP or warrant? Okay, so it's an on-view violation of probation out of Volusia County. And your bond is set at none in that case at this time, and so Volusia County has 72 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to our admin order, okay? All right, please tell me your name.
Anthony Rodriguez.
All right, Mr. Rodriguez, you were picked up on an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County. Looks like your bond is set at none in that case, and so Osceola County has 24 hours to come and pick you up pursuant to our admin order, okay?
Okay. Are you able to set a bond?
I am not.
No. Okay. So they are going to pick me up within 24 hours, you
They
said?
should.
Okay.
Please tell me your name.
Robert Watson.
All right, Mr. Watson, you were picked up on this is an on-view VOP2 out of Lake County.
Actually, it wasn't on view. He was arrested yesterday for possession of cannabis. He bonded on that, and Madison County said they won't come get him for on view.
But this is Lake?
Watson?
Yeah. Oh, it said Lake at the top.
I could tell you about that.
Oh, okay. All right, so they're not picking him up, so I can ROR him on it? Okay. All right. So appears as though Lake or Madison County is not gonna pick you up for any out-of-county violation of probation, so I'm gonna ROR you. Okay, Mr. Watson?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, stay out of trouble though.
Thank you.
All right, is Mr. Dozier not coming?
It's medical.
Medical, okay. We'll reset Mr. Dozier. Looks like, so was he really, he's not in the hospital anymore, right? It's just medical, okay. So, reset him. All right, are you Miss Dunlap?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, she was here for out of county yesterday. We addressed the out of county, but the fag was placed on her last night, so we have to address the fag.
Okay. So because I have no idea what happened in Seminole County or when, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on bond case. So that should release the hold,
Yes.
okay? And that's in 2019 CF 8310AO, that's the out on bond. So, I guess Seminole County will now have 24 hours to come and pick you up from now?
She was here yesterday on the out-of-county warrant, and I
Oh,
believe
okay.
it's been 24
Right,
hours.
but they couldn't pick her up because of the hold here.
I see.
So we had to address the hold that was not addressed yesterday. I know, I'm really sorry, I know. So they should come and pick you up real soon. Sorry, Ms. Dunlap.
I have to stay another 24 hours.
I don't know when they'll come and pick you up, but,
How long do they have?
well, because because I wasn't aware of a hold yesterday and they found that you're out on bond, and then, so then I have to address that, and that's what you were recalled for today, and I'm not taking action on that.
So you're not going to revoke my bond?
No, I did not revoke your bond,
Okay.
okay?
So if they don't come get me in 24 hours,
You'll come back before a judge.
and then can I get bond?
Depends on the situation, so, but they usually come and pick you up. Do we know when Seminole's coming to pick anybody up?
They pick up every day.
Every day, they pick up every day. They're right next door, so it's not like coming from the Panhandle or South Florida, okay?
And then I have to sit there.
Well, you'll go back to Seminole. I don't know I think it was Judge Rexidler. I don't know what she'll do. So it's really, I don't have any jurisdiction over anything in Seminole. Just so happens that you got arrested here for whatever happened in Seminole, so you have to
'Cause I'm
come.
on probation here.
Yeah, so, but you got arrested here, not in Seminole.
Because I live in Orange County. My probation's in Orange County.
Right, but even though you may have transferred it, it goes back, if you have a violation, it goes back to that original county. All right. Okay, so I believe do we have Mr. Halliburton? Looks like the city filed a no information notice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and so that was in 2019 MO 113380. Lloyd Foster Halliburton, the attorney had, or Ms. Abraham had filed a motion for ROR or in the alternative to reduce bond. And then yesterday, Mr. McGee filed a no information notice. So has he been released?
Yes.
Okay, so I will take no action. All right, so for the 33-day motions, 2019 CF 4358AO, Thomas Eugene Goodwin. Looks like his bond had been revoked on June 10th. So I don't know why he would be
So,
ROR'd at any point.
I think on the add-on, just to be consistent, the add-on docket has a motion to reconsider from one of the ones yesterday.
I'm sorry?
The add-on docket has a motion to reconsider.
That's gonna be heard over there.
Oh.
Because Judge Carter's the one that made that decision.
I think, I understand, Your Honor. It's gonna be the same argument the state had yesterday with those cases that's in the motion to reconsider.
Right.
And it's, you know, so it's
Right,
consistent
but
with-
his bond was revoked, so I have no idea why he would be entitled to any type of release other than a judge giving him a bond.
No, I understand. And so the state's argument is they haven't been in custody 30 days because it gets revoked. And the public defender's argument is it should be 30 days from date of arrest no matter whether it's revoked. So that's the kind of, I'm saying it's a recurring issue, and so that's why so this is gonna potentially be a motion to reconsider as well.
Well, that's fine, but I find that based on any revocation, if you have a new law arrest and your bond is revoked, the only way you're getting out after any amount of time is if you file a motion for bond.
Well, Your Honor, under that,
Because there'd be
under
no
that-
purpose for the
well,
rule.
under that theory, then they could be held indefinitely.
No, they
as long
can't.
as-
They cannot be held indefinitely. Speedy trial always trumps them being held indefinitely, and then that would be a motion for discharge. But if you get arrested, okay, and then you bond out, say the next day,
Right.
and then you pick up a new law offense 29 days later, okay, and your bond gets revoked on the original charge, the only way you get released, I don't care if you've served the 30 days, 33 days, 60 days, whatever it might be, you're gonna have to file a motion for bond if your bond was revoked, because the court can then detain you because they've found probable cause that you've committed a new law offense. So it doesn't just go away and you get released because you've served 33 days and the state hasn't filed an information. That way, there'd be no reason for the rule.
State's
I think the argument is if they never file anything, and they are in jail up until that speedy
Then-
trial
right,
date,
but you can
then
file
they
a
are
motion- okay.
being held.
Let me talk. You can file a motion for bond at that point in front of that judge and say, Judge, my client's been held in jail for 60, 70, 120 days without the state filing an information. we think he should get a bond, or she should get a bond.
Okay.
That's how it should be handled.
Right.
Not filing a motion for release based on
A
either
30-day
from the date of arrest to today's date, even if they've been in and out of jail since then.
Oh, okay, yeah, I understand.
I
I understand your position, I understand the
Right.
state's position, and
yeah.
I understand how
I just don't think it doesn't serve the purpose of the rule, either for the revocation rule or the 33-day rule, which is, it doesn't make any sense. If you- Yeah, I understand that's your office's position and
Yes, exactly.
that you have to make that argument, but it makes no sense when you look at the rules together. When somebody's bond has been revoked, they're just not entitled to release unless the motion, and you file a motion for bond. And the court grants that, and I can't hear that unless it's a misdemeanor case,
Right,
so.
if it's in the trial.
So I'm gonna deny that.
And that's Goodwin?
That was Goodwin. And his bond was revoked on 6/19. Or 6/10, excuse me.
And just, although that was a hypothetical argument.
Right.
However, the state filed information. Sorry for the, I just got an email.
Oh, okay, you just yeah, because it wasn't in there this morning.
Correct, they just walked
Okay,
it over,
all right.
so-
Because we're looking up all these cases now, and,
No, I understand. Which I don't think it changes, just happened to be this morning.
right,
They have
okay.
emails
So
saying that.
either way, on that case, the state filed an information.
Correct.
Was that today?
This morning, yes, Your Honor. 6:27.
Do you have that filing ID?
May I have 1 second today?
And so that was filed this morning, and today's
Yes.
the 27th.
I have a filing, I can show the defense the clocked in copy, because they manually walked it over, Mr. Nguyen.
I'll take your word.
Okay. It looks like it clocked in at 8:36 a.m. It was a request for admin transfer as well.
Okay, so I notated that on the order, so it's very clear why the court made that decision.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, 2019 CF 7579AO, Michael Todd Waters.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing before the 33rd day on 6/26.
That will be granted. 2019 MM 4294AO, Kwame R. Smith.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 6/26.
That will be denied. I think we have an issue with Mr. Salisbury as well, so 2019 CF 3665AO, Sebastian Alexander Salisbury. His bond was revoked on 4/29.
And today, I would argue that today, has an information been filed?
Don't think that would make any bit of difference in my
At 57,
opinion.
I mean, at 57 days, I think what the state has 60 days to file.
Right, but if your bond is revoked, you're not,
On a felony?
Oh, it's a felony.
175.
I got you.
yeah, April 29th. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So his bond was revoked.
Mhm.
So the only way that he would get released is if the Office of the Public Defender filed a motion for bond. You don't get the benefit of then, your bond gets revoked. I mean, the court, according to the rule, could hold you and detain you based on any new law arrest or any violation of your conditions of release. So when I look up the case,
I see on 4/29 is when
his bond was
the
revoked.
bond is revoked.
So even if the state, what I think is happening here, and I think that obviously this will probably get flushed out with Judge Carter and Mr. Diaz if he's gonna argue that motion,
Right.
is that when you all file the 33-day motion, I don't know if the state's actually, or the prosecutor that has the case is actually looking at the dates as they should, but, and they're just it's just triggering them to file a reason for why the case hasn't been filed on. I think that maybe that needs to be fixed over there.
Correct, so after last week, we sent an email, we're trying to figure out a way that we
Right,
can,
because
in our
they're just
system-
looking at the complaint.
Correct. So we're trying to figure out a way, the system that automatically says when the clerk revokes the bond, well, not, when the judge revokes the bond, that is now in our system so that the attorney can see that revocation as well and know that it's not a traditional 33-day motion because of.
You can file whatever motions your office wants, but I think what's happening on the state side is that it's triggering them to file a notice of non-filing, waiting lab report, awaiting supplemental report, or whatever it might be, even though the bond was revoked. And the only way that they're gonna get a bond is if they file a motion for bond in the division that it's set. And that's my belief as to what the law is. But, and maybe we'll have more debates about it. But I'm gonna deny that because his bond was revoked on 4/29.
We're on Salisbury, correct?
Yes. I believe that was 4/29. No, 4/27. 4/27. All right, 2019 CF 6990AO LZ Octario Robinson.
That should be denied. The state filed information on 6/26.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 7295AO Leroy Bass. I believe his bond was revoked on June 8th, 2019.
I didn't, what's,
So,
you mean the actual dates of?
Meaning how many days they physically have this.
Right, well, I think our position is since the date of the arrest.
But how did you find she said they were arrested? You don't know the dates.
I don't know the dates on his new.
Correct. You
Usually-
don't know how many days they've been in custody.
Right.
So you need to know to make that argument as well.
Right, I need to know,
You need to know.
the date of arrest.
Correct.
And that's what was gonna be my next question, what was his date of arrest?
But you can't, the courts can say, I don't do that. Yeah, it's public information. So, I'm saying, you're gonna have to.
Or we provide the motion, we should presumably.
all right, so based on that, I'm gonna deny it because his bond was revoked on
Yes.
June 8th, 2019 by Judge Strobridge. 2019 CF 7565AO Lane Randall Griffith.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing on 6/26.
That will be granted. 2019 CF 5458AO Charles Lamont Johnson.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 6/26.
That will be denied. All right, and then 2019 MM 4428AO Aref Hamdan.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 6/26 and a request to transfer from misdemeanor to felony.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 6923 Terry Cummings.
That should be denied. The state filed an information on 6/26.
That will be denied. The next one, Miss Higgins, 2019 CF 6082AO. Rachel Lynn Higgins, her bond was revoked on June 18th. Check it just one more time. So, that was by me on June 18th. That will be denied. 2019 CF 7404AO, Xavier Padilla Velez.
To be denied, the state filed an information on 6/26.
That will be denied. 2019 CF 6683, Vincent Michael Evelina Jr.
That should be granted. The state filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day on 6/26.
That will be granted. And then we have 2019 MM 4448AO, David Scott Grigsby, and that 33rd day is not until tomorrow, but I don't know if the state's filed an information.
We've not, that can be granted, Your Honor. State filed a notice of non-filing for the 33rd day.
Okay, so just so you know, today's not the 33rd day,
Yeah, I understand.
so that will be granted. All right, anything else? No, we'll be in recess until this afternoon. All right, we're back on the record, June 27, 2019, Judge Wish, Courtroom 1, Session 2. Can I please have the parties announce themselves for the record?
Coffee Kennedy Swanson on behalf of the Office of the State Attorney.
Brian Wynn on behalf of the Office of Public Defender.
Elias Serrano bonded. That's 1901928. I don't have a face sheet, so, okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Kristen Brown.
All right, Ms. Brown.
I didn't have a chance to speak with the state prior to.
Hold on, because I already know what you're going towards.
Yes.
So, let me call the case and appoint you and go do it all
Okay.
succinctly. Okay. So 2019 CF 9186AO. I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. I believe that the wrong statute was just entered in because based on the affidavit, and then the last paragraph in the affidavit references the ag assault versus an aggravated battery with a firearm. So I think that the officer just wrote the wrong statute in there, and it should be the ag assault statute. I do find probable cause for aggravated assault with a firearm and battery, and I believe the ag assault statute, if I'm not correct, let me know, 784.0211A. All right. Mr. Nguyen, anything else on that line?
That was it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I find probable cause for those offenses. I believe that was just a scrivener's error in terms of entering it in. And so, Ms. Brown, you're not to have any contact with the victim in the case. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. And I believe this is just an F3. I'm gonna set your bond on count 1 at $5,000 and count 2 at $500. 784.021.
Yeah.
All right, please tell me your name.
Christina De La Rosa.
All right, do we know what happened to Car-Wise? All right, take no action. And then Cruz bonded?
Also mine.
Okay. You're Miss De La Rosa?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're here in 2019 CF 9182AO. You're arrested for possession of heroin, possession of drug paraphernalia, and trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause, and you did not fill out a form for the public defender. Was there a reason for that, or?
No, I'm on methadone. I don't even do heroin. I was just like wrong place, wrong time with the wrong person type thing. And I'm on methadone.
Don't talk about the facts of your case.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just on methadone,
Well,
and
I
don't.
understand you. Stop talking.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender?
Please.
Okay. Do you work?
No.
Okay. Do you have any income whatsoever?
No.
Okay. You get no money from the government?
I get food stamps.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office based on your testimony to represent you. I do find the probable cause for the offenses as listed. You're not to return back to 7415 South Orange Blossom Trail,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Looks like that's the Chick-fil-A. You can't go back there. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. So if you have a prescription for methadone, then you can take it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You may not have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. Your bond's set at 1,000 on count 1 and 100 on counts 2 and 3.
Okay.
Please tell me your name.
Cedric Farson.
All right, Mr. Frierson, you're here in 2011 CF 2555AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of probation. And your bond is set at $250,000. And did he have the PD at any point, do we know? Did you fill out a form for the public defender? Were you planning on hiring your own attorney?
I haven't even called my wife yet because she's back home in California.
Okay, that wasn't my question.
I'm gonna call her to find out what we're gonna do. So right now, I'm just gonna not do anything with the PD until I
Okay.
speak with her.
So, do you think you're gonna be able to meet your bond?
I'm sure I can work it out.
Okay, is he gonna be seen by Judge Whitehead if he doesn't make a bond? Okay, so you're gonna be, if you don't make your bond, you're gonna be seen by Judge Whitehead in a week to 10 days, maybe sooner.
Okay.
So at that point, he can address with you if you haven't hired an attorney or haven't figured out what you're gonna do, whether or not you want the public defender or whether you qualify for their services, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
Brian Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 2019 CF 9174AO. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. It looks like they charged you with, it's a little confusing here, with possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell or deliver. I have a bond correction sheet, but then when I look at the facts, I don't see much of an intent to sell or deliver.
I was going to raise a probable cause challenge to that. I didn't think there's anything supporting intent to sell or deliver.
I didn't see anything either.
And if they were, and I know they identified the outstanding warrant during the arrest, and if that was kind of something they based off seeing what the warrant was for. But within the four corners of the affidavit, I did not identify any.
No objection to PC for just a simple possession.
Yeah. So I do find probable cause for just possession of methamphetamine or MDMA with no intent, so just the possession. Do we know that specifics? Is it the one that's listed on the affidavit already? That was corrected? Okay, so it's 893.131A-80? Does everyone agree?
Your turn.
Yes? Check. Nope, that's still the intent statute. So, okay, sorry, say that again? 89313.
6A-27.
Thank you, so let's see, 6A. Yes. 6A-20-27, thank you. Okay, so I find for that lesser included, and the possession of morphine. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1, I'm gonna set at $3,500. Bond on count 2, $150. You're also here in 2019 CF 8839AO. You were picked up on a warrant in which probable cause was previously found for trafficking in a controlled substance more than 4 grams, purchase of cannabis, marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a prescription drug without a prescription, and possession of synthetic cannabinoid. I'm gonna appoint the public defender in that case as well. Your bonds will remain set as in the warrant at $50,000 on count 1. I'm gonna reduce count 2 to $150. I'm gonna reduce count 3 to $100, 4 $100, and count 5 $150. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances without a valid prescription in that case either. You're out on bond for similar offenses, 2019 CF 8644AO. I'm revoking that and setting it at none. And I believe you are represented in that case.
Hello, Your Honor.
Can you tell me your name?
Juan Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, you're here in 2019 CF 9183AO. You're arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, and trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to 3007 Whisper Lake Lane, Apartment E. You're not to have any contact with the victim in the case, your daughter. You're not to possess or consume any illegal substances or any alcohol unless you have a valid prescription for either. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Do we
ma'am.
know, I don't have any criminal like his face sheet is blank. Do we have, I don't have any.
He has no, Florida history, he has out-of-state history, but no out-of-state convictions.
My guess is the doubling of the bonds is the or is the Texas address? Yeah, he's been, okay. All right, sir, I'm gonna stay the bond at the $5,000 on count 1. I'm gonna reduce count 2 to 200. And count 3 to 200. Do you need this back?
No, you want.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Hi. Please tell me your name.
My name is Jim Parliament.
All right, so you're here in 2019 CF 9181AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer with violence and an open container violation. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will remain set at 1,000 on count 1. And I'm gonna reduce count 2 to $100. And you're not to possess any open containers in public, and you're not to possess any weapons or firearms or ammunition.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please tell me your name.
Anthony Reed.
Mr. Reed? You're here in 2019 CF 9178AO. You're arrested for petty theft, 2 prior convictions, and petty theft retail offense. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to go back to the Target at 718 McGuire Boulevard in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness there. And you're not to possess weapons or firearms or ammunition. And your bond will stay set on count 1 at 1,000 and 100 on count 2.
Your Honor, we request on count 2, or if you want to do it on count 1 in ROR, I mean, by the words of the affidavit, I believe there's only one item. It's not 2 instances. You know, they're both
Well,
the
I
same.
mean, it's 2 crimes and there's no double jeopardy, but all ROR I'm on count 2.
Thank you.
So count 2?
Count 2, the petty theft retail. Ms. Sapp, is she bonded? 1901925. All right, please tell me your name.
Israel Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here in 2019 CF 9172AO. You're arrested for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle, and driving while license suspended with 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office. You're not to drive without a valid license. You're not to have any contact with any victim, any witness, or any co-defendant, and that includes anybody at the Hertz rental. Your bond on count 1 is gonna be set at $2,500. Your bond on count 2 is also set at $2,500. You're out on bond in 19 CF 5531AO for similar offense, and I looked at the facts, pretty similar, so I'm gonna revoke the bond and set it at none. Huh? Okay, and I'm gonna appoint the PD on the out on bond case that I revoked. You can talk at your own peril, but I would advise you that you have every right to remain silent. Everything that you say and will say would be used against you. You're being recorded and the prosecutor's sitting right there.
We would ask
So-
Mr. Wynn if he is going to talk without counsel, then he remove his hand from the mic so that it can be recorded. Mr. Wynn, not the defendant.
Yeah.
You can't cover his, you can't stop him from talking.
Right.
You can advise him.
I was trying to advise him.
Okay, well, then you need to interrupt him.
And that's what I was just trying to quickly advise him prior, just to let him know.
You can tell me whatever you want, but I'm telling you right now, it's probably not gonna help you. And
In
if
the
your
affidavit-
allegations are that
in
you
the
were
affidavit-
driving the vehicle.
No, in the affidavit, it says that she's the driver. When the traffic stop, you look at the affidavit, it's in there.
I understand that, but before
got
that,
brought
they
it out.
saw you, the allegations are they saw you driving the vehicle.
You said before that?
Yeah,
What you mean before that?
before the stop, you switched spots.
Huh? They
Why
didn't
don't
say
you
we
read-
switched.
Why don't you read the affidavit again? Okay, Mr. Nguyen, I'm gonna stop it right now, because he's not helping himself. And you know, and I know what's in the affidavit, so.
No, I wasn't driving, man. They took her to jail for that. She brought it out. I wasn't driving.
We're done. Thank you. Please tell me your name, sir.
Javaris Tomlin.
All right, Mr. Tomlin, you're here in 2019 CF 9180AO. You're arrested for attempted armed burglary of a dwelling, carrying concealed firearm, and resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. I believe that this is an F2. Unless you can tell me something else, but because of the attempt, then so I think it goes one less down. I looked it up, and I believe it's an F.
1 second. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Because of the attempt.
yeah. Okay. So I do find probable cause for those offenses. Again, if I didn't say it, I am appointing the public defender. You're not to return back to 4376 Medallion Drive, number 1306. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. You're not to possess any weapons, any firearms, or any ammunition. I am gonna stay the bond on count 1 at $5,000. Count 2, I am gonna reduce to $150, and count 3, $100. All right, please tell me your name.
Willie James Edmond.
All right, Mr. Edmond. You're here in 2019 MM 2810AO. You were arrested for a capias for failing to appear for your arraignment on June 4, 2019. The judge set your bond at 1,000, but I don't know, the state may, was the PD ever appointed? Okay, so you do have the PD. State have an offer?
Adjudication, credit for time served, cost of investigation of $87 to the Orlando Police Department.
So how many days does he have in total? Do we know?
Yes. I'm gonna resolve it, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna
31. 32? 32? Okay. So it's credit for 32 days time served. And then I would have to impose court costs, and then there's that, cost of investigation of $87. Thanks. Mr. Wynn, does he want a plea no contest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Edmond, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, it is.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving
Yes,
up by
ma'am.
entering the plea? Let me finish, okay?
Yes,
You understand all the rights you're giving
Yes,
up? Okay, hold on. Are you on probation anywhere?
No, I had a clean record for the last 25, 30 years.
Okay.
Only thing I've been charged with is panhandling.
Okay. All right, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
I never left the United States in the last 6 months.
Okay, but you understand if you're not a U.S.
Yes,
citizen,
ma'am.
it will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Mr. Edmond, I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the affidavit in the court file. I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 32 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 32 days time served. There's a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $87. And there's also, I have to impose court costs. And I'm gonna order that you pay those by June 27th, 2020, okay? Gives you a
Yes,
year to
ma'am.
pay them off. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you.
Yes,
Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Go to your court dates, if you
Yes,
have
ma'am.
any.
Free to go.
Oh, okay.
Oops.
Yeah, I have PTR offer, question mark, okay.
Ms. Goodwin's case, Your Honor, the offer is adjudication, 10 days, cost of investigation of $89.74.
$89.74,
Yes, to the Ocoee Police Department.
Ocoee, okay.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know the case you have now.
One previously, two, after three.
How many days?
If you want to reduce that offer to 6, 5?
I'd be willing to reduce it to 6.
Yeah.
So the arrest was on 6/26, and then I know, sorry, that 3, you're saying?
3, yes.
Okay. And the offer was 10 or 6 or?
I reduced it to 6.
Okay,
Same cost investigation.
yeah. Okay, so the offer is 6 days with credit for 3 days.
What is this one?
Looks like you, so I'm gonna call your case, Ms. Goodwin, or how do you pronounce it?
No, this is what I want to get
I
straightened
know,
out
but
with
I
the.
have to call the case, so hold
Okay.
on, all right?
All right.
I was just handed some information, so it kind of distracted me, but 2019 MM 404AW, and you were picked up on a capias for failing to appear for an arraignment, and the judge set your release at pretrial release, but I'm being told that you don't qualify for pretrial release. So, the state is making an offer for you to plead to the resisting an officer without violence. Did she ever get the PD at IAs? I don't know if they were ever appointed. Looks like.
They weren't appointed.
No, she was pro se, okay. So, did you hear the state's offer?
Would you repeat it for me,
Okay,
please?
so they're offering you an adjudication of guilt, which means it's a conviction. It's 6 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days' time served. And then there's a cost of investigation to the Ocoee Police Department in the amount of $89.74, and then I would have to impose court costs as well.
I will agree to that.
Okay.
But may I get my name straight for the records, please? My name is not Godwin.
Okay.
My first name is not spelled Margaret. The last A is dropped, and that's how the original arrest report was without that extra A and Godwin. They could not find that in your database, that name, period. They were going to throw me in jail again because they could not find that name in your national database. I need to get that corrected with the court, if at all possible. That's not my name. How to pronounce it or spell it.
What is your last name?
Goodwin, Goodwin, and you got plenty of records here that state just that fact. I don't know the arresting officer. He wrote it Godwin, and I never could straighten that out. And Margaret is Margret. When he arrested me last night, he added the A to Margaret as well. I mean, the whole name. It's just.
Well, it looks as though they were able to get your criminal history from information that they obtained. I think that you're gonna have to go, I mean, I can advise the clerk of that, but I think that if you want something changed, you may have to go through FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, state. I don't know if you know any more information than that.
I don't. But you have here in the jail in the county, is this county or state, county jail, I suppose. I've been in here about 3 times with the correct name. You have the correct name.
Right, well, they have your correct information, so it's just.
But this case is got the wrong name on it.
Yeah, well, she's not,
Sure, she could file a motion to correct her name with a copy of her, a certified copy of her birth certificate, or social security or passport, or some other official documentation to correct that.
But I can't change what's already been done in the affidavit. Okay?
Okay.
So if you want to enter the plea today, you're more than welcome to do so.
And you say the plea of guilty for what charge now?
Resisting an officer without violence.
Oh, I hate to do that, but I need to get on with my life, so, all right, that's agreeable. Thank you.
Okay. That's what the state charged you with.
No contest. I'd like to enter a plea of no contest.
Okay.
All right? Thank you, Your Honor.
And what, were we appointed on the case, Your Honor?
No.
Okay.
That's how it's spelled. That way. I surely wish you could get that straight for me. It is so aggravating. Thank you.
All right, just Ms. Goodwin, I put on the plea form the correct spelling of your first and last name. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I can do at this
All right.
point, and right next to the other name, okay?
Okay, that's
All right.
agreeable. Thank you very
I'm showing you the
much.
plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea
Yes,
form?
I've got to do 3, is it 3 days? I was charged with 6,
I think you may only, 2 more.
2 more days?
Yeah.
Great,
All
and
right.
then just go through the regular procedures or discharge?
Yeah, they'll
They'll
get you,
tell
they'll
me.
get you out. So
All right then.
we gotta get through the plea first. So is this your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Exactly.
Did you understand everything that was contained within the plea form?
Yes, I plead no contest.
Okay, do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
I exactly understand every one of them.
Okay.
Thank you.
And are you on probation anywhere?
No,
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
I do.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the plea based on the information in the court file. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 6 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 3 days' time served. There's a cost of investigation to the Ocoee Police Department in the amount of $89.74. I do have to impose court costs. I'm going to order that you pay those by June 27, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off, okay?
One thing, Yana, I think you just read that I pled not, or that I pled guilty. I would like to change that to no contest.
No, you pled no contest. I adjudicated you guilty,
Oh, okay.
okay?
All
If you'd
right.
like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed for you.
That's fine. Thank
All right.
you. Thank you very much.
All right, please tell me your name.
Eugene Taylor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, you're here in 2019 CT 4748AO and 2019 CT 4749AO. You were arrested for driving under the influence and driving with a license suspended or revoked with knowledge. Do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And at any point, did he qualify for pretrial? I'm showing you're unable to verify community ties. Okay. So what I can do is, no, that's okay. So I'm gonna stay the bond at the $500 on count 1 and $100 on count 2.
Actually,
No alcohol, no drugs, and you cannot drive without a valid license.
yes, ma'am. Is there any way that I don't have anybody down here to help me
Okay,
get
so,
out?
well, they were unable to verify your community ties, so I don't have a problem imposing bond or PTR if you qualify. Okay, so they're gonna have to qualify you, I can't do that, so.
What do they need?
Well, they're gonna need information from you to verify that where your address is, where you know, all that kind of, specifically,
Okay, I have the
That's-
address. I don't have a phone because all my stuff got taken right before I got pulled over. So I don't have a phone, really in bad shape right now. I was just trying to get home. But I stay in Barton
Okay.
Creek.
Hold
I
on.
just don't have a phone number to
Hold on.
verify it.
Yeah, we have this address on this driving record.
huh?
We have, this address that we have here, we interview on this driving record. So we can read Charlie's.
You
It's
can?
on this driving record, yes.
Okay, do you want me to do PTR or the bond, or just PTR? Okay, I'm gonna place you in the pretrial release program. It looks as though they're gonna be able to qualify you, okay?
Thank you.
So, no alcohol, no drugs, and you must have a valid license in order to drive. You must comply with all of their requirements. If you don't, they can tell me that you didn't, or me, or some other judge, and they can revoke your release and hold you no bond, and you don't want that to happen, okay?
I don't.
Right.
Can I get the case number again, Your Honor?
Sure, there's 2019 CT 4748 and 19 CT 4749.
Thank you.
So straight PTR. Okay, no, It gets confusing in here. All right, please tell me your name. Mr. Bland? Okay. All right, so you're here in 2019 MM 5351AO, and you were arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and soliciting without a permit. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Was there an offer?
Adjudication 3 days.
Two? One? Okay.
Yeah, 1 day, Your Honor.
1 day. And, I'm not gonna take action on the add-on bond today. But if I see him again,
And Your Honor, he's gonna enter a plea of no contest.
okay. Thank you. All right, Mr. Bland, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis for you to enter the pleas to both of the charges. I am going to adjudicate you guilty on each charge, sentence you to 3 days on each count with credit for 1 day time served. Those are gonna run concurrent. I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order that you pay those by June 27th, 2020. That gives you a year to pay them off. If you want to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you. Good luck to you.
Mr. De Leon is mental health drug.
Okay, we'll reset. All right, please tell me your name.
Bathsheba Nixon.
All right, Ms. Nixon, you're here in 2019, MM 5352AO. You're arrested for providing false identification to law enforcement and loitering or prowling. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I also have a face sheet that has nothing on it. I don't know if there's. Thanks. Okay. Was there any offer for?
There is not, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Nixon, you're not to return back to 940 Bradshaw Terrace
Okay.
or anywhere on Bradshaw Terrace.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to go back there. You're not to have any contact with the witness in the case. And your bond is gonna remain set on count 1 at 500 and count 2 at 250.
Do I leave today?
Is this like this guy, is this correct? I don't know any, like, it just, is that okay? Like, it's not, okay, that's, okay, just wasn't sure. Okay. All right, please tell me your name.
My name name is Abdimiliam Rivera Santos.
Okay, Ms. Rivera Santos, you're here in 2019 MM 5354AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. Was there an offer for Ms. Rivera Santos?
Withhold credit for time served, no return.
Your Honor, she will enter a plea of no contest. And how long is the no return for? Being that it is a hospital?
Right, well, my whole thing is with that, I mean, if she's brought there because she's in an ambulance or, you know, she's being treated for something, but she can't be there for any other purpose other than medical treatment.
I believe she was discharged on this and refused to leave.
Right.
So that's the no return.
But if she suffered from any other ailment, she's...
So for medical treatment.
Yeah, for medical
yes.
treatment, yes, but not just to go and,
Not to visit anybody that happens to be there for
Right.
whatever reason.
Right.
so for her own medical treatment. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Rivera Santos, I'm showing you this plea form. Is this your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Gotta speak up, okay. Did you understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'm gonna withhold adjudication, and is it 1 day? I'm gonna sentence you to 1 day in the Orange County Jail with credit for 1 day time served. You may not go back to 601 East Rollins Street, the Advent Health Hospital, unless it's for medical treatment for yourself, okay? May not go back there for any other purpose. And I do have to impose court costs. I'm gonna order you pay those by June 27th, 2020. If you would like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, all right? Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Haley Shelley.
All right, Miss Shelley, you're here. Looks like got picked up on a Hillsborough County warrant. And you do have a bond on count 1 at $500 and count 2, is that $25,500? Well, I don't think so. I think it's 2,500. I don't think it's 25,000. On the teletype, it says 2,500. I think 25,000 is a lot for less than 20 grams of cannabis. Okay, on here it says 25,000. Okay, so your bond on count 1 is $500, count 2 is $2,500. If you can bond out, you can bond out. If not, Hillsborough has 72 hours to come and pick you up. That does not include the weekends or any holidays, okay? Right? All right, please tell me your name.
Andrew Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you're here in 2019 CF 9121AO. You're arrested for video voyeurism under or through clothes. And do find probable cause, and did you fill out a form for the public defender?
Did,
You did?
I did.
Okay, did you?
I
were
think
you-
I have the paper, but I left it in the other cell.
Okay, so did you want to see if, do you want the public defender?
I could
Or-
probably get a private attorney.
Okay, well, do you want me to see if you can qualify for the public defender?
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to hire another attorney,
Yeah,
but, so do you work?
no.
No? Do you get any income? Okay. Do you get any money from the government whatsoever?
No.
No. Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint the public defender based on your testimony to me today. And,
State would object to PTR, I know he qualifies, but we would object, oh, no.
He's on probation, he'll be seen for probation tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
so what? I'm sorry.
He's on county probation, they already served the warrant, so he'll be seen for Judge Carter tomorrow. For the BOP.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
all right,
But we don't- yeah.
okay. So you're not to return back to the Walmart at 8101 South John Young Parkway in Orlando, Florida. You're not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. And I am setting your bond at $3,500. Okay? All right, anything else? You sure? Okay. We'll be at recess until tomorrow.